What's up, Vikings Nation? If you thought the biggest story heading into the NFL Combine was about quarterbacks, think again. There's a quiet move happening behind the scenes that's got everyone talking, and it involves the Minnesota Vikings leadership taking a different approach in Indianapolis. Here's the twist. While most NFL head coaches and general managers are stepping up to the podium for national press conferences, the Vikings are doing things their own way. And trust me, this decision is already fueling speculation across the league. So buckle up, because this week isn't just about 40-yard dashes and vertical jumps. It's about strategy, perception, and what this silence could mean for the future of the Minnesota Vikings. The official word is that head coach Kevin O'Connell and interim general manager Rob Brzezinski will not participate in the standard, nationally televised press conferences at the NFL Scouting Combine. Instead, they're planning to meet only with local Twin Cities media members who make the trip to Indianapolis. That means you won't see them live on NFL Network addressing the entire national media pool. Instead, they'll hold separate on-the-record sessions with Minnesota-based reporters and also join Paul Allen and Pete Bercich on KFAN-FM 100.3 during their broadcasts from Indy. Now let me ask you, Vikings fans, is this just a low-key media strategy? Or is there something bigger behind it? Because when leadership chooses a quieter stage, it usually means they want tighter control over the message. And here's something important. The Vikings aren't alone. The head coaches and general managers for the Cincinnati Bengals, Dallas Cowboys, Los Angeles Rams, and New Orleans Saints are also absent from the official media schedule at the Indianapolis Convention Center. So this isn't some isolated Minnesota Vikings move. There's a trend developing where certain franchises are opting out of the big national spotlight during Combine Week. Still, when it's our Vikings, every move feels magnified. And in a week filled with rumors and speculation, staying off the main stage only adds fuel to the fire. Let's talk about why this week matters so much. The NFL Scouting Combine isn't just about prospects running drills. It's the epicenter of league-wide conversations, trades, free agency whispers, contract negotiations, and yes, quarterback rumors. Executives meet, agents talk, deals start forming in hotel hallways. And when leadership avoids the main microphone, it makes you wonder what conversations are happening behind closed doors. Is this just standard operating procedure? Or are the Minnesota Vikings preparing for something big that they don't want to telegraph publicly? Now let's break down the actual combine workout schedule so we know what's coming. Thursday features defensive linemen and linebackers at 2 p.m. That's where trenches are built and games are won. Friday brings defensive backs and tight ends at 2 p.m. Always one of the most exciting days because speed and explosiveness are on full display. Saturday is the headline event, quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs at noon. And you already know that's the day all eyes will be glued to Indianapolis, especially with the Vikings quarterback situation under the microscope. Sunday wraps things up with offensive linemen at noon. Big bodies, big power, and maybe the future protectors of whoever ends up under center for Minnesota in 2026. And that brings us to the elephant in the room, the quarterback situation. Kevin O'Connell has made it clear he wants a competitive quarterback room in 2026. That means 2024 first-round pick J.J. McCarthy is not being handed anything. He'll have to earn the starting job against whoever the Vikings bring in this offseason. And that's where the rumors explode. The Minnesota Vikings have been linked to names like Kyler Murray, Malik Willis, Mac Jones, and even Aaron Rodgers. Let's unpack that. Reports suggest Rodgers, if he plays in 2026, is most likely to suit up for the Steelers. So while that rumor created buzz, it may not be the most realistic path for Minnesota. Malik Willis is reportedly trending toward a massive free agent deal, potentially around $35 million annually. That's serious money, and it would signal a full commitment if the Vikings went that direction. Kyler Murray's situation is fascinating. If the Cardinals were to move on from him, that could open the door for Minnesota to pursue him as a free agent. Dynamic, explosive, experienced, but also expensive and polarizing. And then there's Mac Jones. The 49ers publicly say they don't want to trade him, but we've seen smokescreens before in this league. Jones went 5-3 in 8 starts last season and has quietly rebuilt some value. There's even been a comparison floating around to Sam Darnold's resurgence, a quarterback who revived his career in Minnesota before moving on and finding championship success elsewhere. That's a reminder that O'Connell's system can elevate talent. So here's the big question, Vikings fans. Do you trust J.J. McCarthy to take the reins? Or do you want a proven veteran brought in to compete hard for that job? Drop your take in the comments right now. Should the Minnesota Vikings swing big in free agency, explore a trade, or double down on their young first-round investment? Because whether O'Connell speaks on the national stage or not, the real story will unfold in roster moves, not microphones. Silence at the podium doesn't mean inactivity behind the scenes. This combined week could shape the entire future of the Vikings franchise. And even if leadership keeps things local, you better believe the league is watching every move Minnesota makes. So stay locked in for more Noticias Dos Minnesota Vikings news updates as everything develops in Indianapolis. If you love this kind of in-depth Vikings coverage, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with every Vikings fan you know. Let's keep building the strongest Vikings community on YouTube. Skol!